Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of the Daily Dose. I'm Precious Asagir, Communications Manager here at MCBA. My co partner, Kaliko, cannot join me today, but I will hold it down for you guys because this is a topic that sits very near and dear to me, being a delivery girl and all. So let's get right into it. We are looking at an article today from Ganjapreneur titled Uber Eats Partners with Leafly for Cannabis Delivery in Toronto. It goes on to say Uber Eats is now delivering cannabis in Canada in partnership with Leafly. Torontians, is that how you say it? Don't kill me, I'm not in Canada. 19 and older can place orders from licensed retailers in the Uber Eats app, and products will be delivered by retailers' cancel staff. It's the first time cannabis delivery will be available on a major third party delivery platform in the world, Uber Eats said in a press release. So, a couple things to digest there just from a delivery standpoint. Ever since COVID, I think there's been a renowned push to really understand the magnitude of how important delivery is, the convenience of it, even the safety of it, being able to receive products in your house, and then really tying cannabis into it. You know, a lot of you may know I co-founded and am the CEO of a company called Roll Up Life. We are a cannabis delivery company based out of New Jersey, and we built that company by delivering CBD and realizing that there was a big need and a big gap in the logistics space. And there wasn't a lot of platforms there that kind of merged that, because a lot of the companies that are in delivery right now, Amazon, Uber, you see killing the game, they'll have to go through the same regulatory processes that I'm doing state by state to really figure out how they can get into that sector. So I think it makes it challenging on a larger scale. Literally waiting for federal legalization to hit is when we might see some of those larger companies really come into the cannabis industry. And that's something we've all expected. So to test drive some of these things in Canada, it's actually pretty, the smart thing to do. So I always thought delivery was a access point for patients, and it should be a necessity at this point, especially for those who are elderly or sick. It's just a very easy and simple to do convenience. But really, the trick with delivery is technology, which is where we know Uber really reigns in. And Leafly also being a tech platform, a news outlet that kind of shows you where your nearest retailers are, and an educational platform. It actually a partnership that I think makes sense. We're gonna see what that looks like, how it works, because mind you, there's a lot of safety that goes into it as well. In the article, it did mention how they'll be able to make sure that deliveries are given to those who are 19 and over and who meet the sobriety required regulations to verify customers. But we know that in the states it's different for each different state. One state might require 3 checks before you launch a delivery. Other states require vehicle protection in terms of the product. What type of safety measures are you having to make sure the product is moving safely? And those are the things that really get into the weeds when you think about cannabis delivery, which I think also makes it hard for the larger delivery giants to really come into the game, because they have an infrastructure that deals with commodities that are not as highly regulated as we see cannabis. There are extra layers and steps to really execute delivery. So again, I think the partnership will really help them really work through those kinks to see if Uber Eats is a good fit for the cannabis industry. That should be actual a question. So I will be keeping up on this. I would love to know your comments on this. Delivery does seem to be like the next big wave when it comes to cannabis industry licenses. We've seen it really take off in California. Massachusetts has really gone an extra step when you think about delivery. They even have a delivery operator license. Shout out to all of the advocates who made that happen, which even gives them access to the supply chain. Call it the ice cream truck model, if you will. We see delivery popping off in Denver, and even here in New Jersey. Delivery is something that's starting to be really normalized when it comes to cannabis, but you cannot leave out the security and safety measures that are needed to really execute these items. So very interesting article. This is going to be a super short daily dose, just because there's so much happening in the world right now when it comes to cannabis. I'm just going to give you guys a couple rundowns of what you can do to stay in touch with MCBA and some of the events and programming we have coming up. And again, Feel free to tune in with your comments and questions on the topic of cannabis delivery, Uber Eats, Leafly, and on our comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Is this a win? Is this going to be something interesting? What happens when Uber, Amazons of the world come into the cannabis space? Are we all jumping for joy, or are we all clutching our pearls? Um, Either way, tap in with me. I'd love to get your feedback. Till then, be sure to join us here tomorrow. We are actually going to be hosting a very important conversation, a town hall in partnership with M4MM, Women Grow, and Marijuana Matters on safe banking. So if you are interested in hearing what we have to say on that and why we're still supporting the SAFE Act, you definitely want to tune into that because that's going to be super informative. And we do have some very special guests that I think will actually lend a lot of insight to that conversation. So stay tuned for that. As always, check out our profiles for all of the upcoming events we have coming up, including our networking mixer, which is going to take place on October 27th. It's be virtual, so you can join from anywhere. That is a come one, come all. And then we'll be at MJ BizCon. We'll be ready to chat, talk, learn more about what you're doing so you can learn more about MCBA. And of course, we're going to kick it off right with our MCBA kickoff party. You can register for that by looking at the links in our pages on our LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook. And that's how you'll be able to get down with us. So as always, I appreciate you guys. This has been the Daily Dose. And again, tap in with me when it comes to delivery. What's going to happen next with this partnership? Later.